saddle, neath the western starlit sky. Let me sleep on the open prairie while the clouds go drifting by. Want to eat when I'm hungry, want to drink when I'm dry. Want a pretty gal when I'm lonesome, want my boots on when I die. No one will be sorry and no one will cry when they find me with my boots on when I die. Let me camp by the willows while the sun is sinking low. Let me feel the breezes blowing as the shadows come and go. Let me count the stars in the evening and I watch them way on high. Want to live while I'm a-living, want my boots on when I die. I know you'll be happy, I know you won't sigh when you find me with my boots on when I die.
Where are you trying to
find me
inside?
With my
I thought
boots
so.
On
So
when
what?
I die.
How about another verse, Sheriff? All right, but this is the last one.
Let me ride with real cowhands who can look you in the eye. I want a 44 in my holster. I want my boots on when I die.
Excuse me.
I want the folks who used to love.
I'm going to have trouble with you again.
As the plant me neat.
But I got business with the sheriff.
With
And
my
wait,
boots on
no
when
attempt. I got to locate a party.
I want to go to heaven. I don't want to fly. And you'll find me with my boots on when I die. And you'll find me with my boots on when I die.
Say, that's no way to come into a sheriff's office. It was the only way I could get in here. Don't you ever tend to duty? Sure. Sometimes. And maybe you'll help me locate a party I'm looking for in this town. I never met him personally, but his name's Prince Katie. Stranger, this is a cow town. I only know men by their reputations, not by their handles. Well, this scalawag's got a reputation. 6 feet to a temper and quick enough on a draw to make any contradictor turn up his toes. That descripts a cowhand in these parts. Well, this maverick's got a brand on his arm. When he was no more than a young one, someone burned him with the old KT iron, and he lit out from home. Oh, yeah. I know that, Drifter. You'll probably find him up the street at the Buckhorn Saloon. I haven't had just cause to run him out of town yet. Maybe you ain't got the courage. How's that? Place your bets. Pick a winner. What do you have? Ginger ale. Hold on. Here she goes. $24, even. Place your bets, men. Get them down. Hold on. Here she goes. $7, red, odd. All right, boys, place your bets. Pick a winner. Here she goes. 19 it is. Place your bets, boys. Odd or even is always a winner. Here she goes. Number 3.
That's all, here she goes. Number 9. Get them down, boys. Here she goes. Winner.
Just a minute, sir. That ain't your payoff. It's mine.
Don't crowd your luck. I always play 13.
But that was my bet. All but one chip.
You're mistaken, ain't you?
Why, I reckon I am, sir. It's yours.
Don't freeze this fellow. Give him back his chips. You ain't in the game. Now stay out of it. Come on, hand them over. I saw you cheat this fellow. That's a lie. Now get out of here before I throw you out. You're really asking for trouble, aren't you? No, just rattling before I strike.
He had it coming to him. He asked for it.
Gunning isn't really my line. By nature, I'm a peaceable man. Well, thanks.
Light for me. And let me tell you, I'm grateful. I might have known smoking. 6 feet to a trouble, ain't you?
Well, that's the way a man gets a bad reputation.
You already got one. Lucky I got here before the sheriff. Where's your horse?
Now, look, it's all right, because I don't run from the law.
You won your argument. I'll get out of here before that shooting canary sheriff throws you in jail. He's right. Why don't you blow town and forget it?
But I shot in self-defense.
But they don't keep our sheriff from locking you up. And sometimes we hang him here and try him afterward.
Now move, you ornery fool. Ain't no good to me in jail.
Yeah, you better get out. This town don't want the cost of a trial.
Get going. Holy smokes, the sheriff. Out that way. Where's your horse?
Right there.
Let's go.
Of course, you saw the killing.
Can't say it did.
At least you heard the shots fired.
What's that you say?
I guess you men know that I can hold all of you as witnesses. Make it easy on yourself, Sheriff, and close the case. It was self-defense. Self-defense? Funny kind of self-defense. This man was shot in the back. Prince Katie was a little too handy with his shooting irons to turn his back on any foe.
Well, that's impossible. The bullet didn't ricochet, and it came from over there.
That's right. This bullet did come. It came from another direction.
Sheriff, you know more about this murder than us who saw it. Plain as seeing, it does look like a frame-up.
You mean to say that tall cowboy just made a show of defending me? Afraid so. Likely he was the cover for the coyote that fired the fatal shot. Gee, and he looked like such a decent, righteous fella. I kind of hated to see him with this killing on his conscience. What'd he look like? Why, say, now that you ask, remarkably like him. Yes, sir, if he was shaved. Take a look. Here's his spitting image.
Blamed if it ain't so. What do you figure it adds up to? 2 bullets and 2 men out of the same mold.
Well, I don't know, but I'm going to find out. That KT brand on his arm's enough to start with. You boys plant prints on Boot Hill. I'll carve his epitaph when I get back. transfer. You know that, Prince.
Prince,
You've been on a drift so long you forgot who you are.
you better ride on alone. I didn't ask for your company.
No, you don't. I'm taking you home whether you like it or not.
What am I? A kind of a favorite black sheep of yours?
Sheep is sheep to me. I don't like any of them. But your mother's in trouble. And worse luck, you're the only one who can get her out of it.
What are you talking about?
The homesteaders are up in arms against your mother. Some of them got burned out. Just because she's queen of the range, they figure she done it.
Well, did she?
Why, you ought to know Clemjeet's behind it. He's just using them to get himself appointed her guardian.
Well, does she need a guardian?
Of course not. Queen Katie's no more crazy than you are. But unless you stop Jeter, he's going to get his hands on the ranch. Legal.
Yes, that's bad. How did you happen to single me out as her son?
Why, Queen Katie knew from your last letter asking for money that you was in Badlands. The sheriff said I'd found you at the gambling table.
Well, do you think she'll know me?
Her only son? Don't be funny. She's thought of nothing else ever since Jeter branded you and run you off. A coward.
And I've been a prodigal ever since?
Since you was a shaver.
Well, if she's in trouble, I guess it's high time I get home. Let's freeze. I'll settle with the law later.
You may count, Bill.
All right. Your husband did head after his son. I seen him before Cannonball. Happened to mosey into a saloon and waited. Pretty soon a lanky cowboy stepped up and notified the prince he was cheating. Then there was a little gunplay. One shot. When I left, and the sheriff was charging him with murder.
Good work, Bill. With Prince Katie out of the way, that don't leave nobody can keep us.
Hey, Spur, you and Whip stay here till we come back. Come on.
Hey! Your own home?
Oh, yeah.
You better go on in alone. Queen wouldn't want no one to take care of your horse.
let me look at you. You're mighty handsome, son. Are you hurt?
Well, it doesn't amount to anything.
Gunfight? Well, I ain't going to ask you what happened to the other fella. Because anything you've done from the day you ran away till now don't matter. I always knew you'd get your fill of wandering and come back.
You sent for me, didn't you?
Yes. I'm in trouble. And I hoped you'd come.
Your hired hand told me.
Did he tell you that I ain't as young as I used to be, that I need a guardian?
Oh, now whoever convinced you about that?
Clem Jeter. He's trying to get his hands on our ranch. You got here just time. It's Jeter.
Is the old lady about? Yeah. The Queen's mighty particular who comes into her parlor.
I know she's fixing again without a court order.
Go on in, but if you come out with birdshot in your pants, don't say I didn't warn you.
Clem Jeter, I didn't hear you knock, and you know you're not welcome.
I don't have to wait on no invites. Come in here now, Queen Katie. I got a court order.
That give you the right to prance in here like you own the place?
Who are you?
You don't recognize him, Clem. He's grown since you run him off.
You're crazy. What are you trying to pull?
I guess I'd better teach you some manners right now.
Don't crowd him yet, son. Clem, this is Prince. He's come back to look after me. You convinced me that I needed a guardian.
Your son? Sins.
You're no more surprised than I am, Mr. Jeter. But I've mended my ways. Peaceable man. But that hasn't affected my aim. I'm just that. And looking after the Queen.
Let me see that paper. Here, son, you read it. I haven't got my glasses.
Well, it reads, not being of sound mind. I guess they mean you. Who made these charges, did you?
Yeah, at the behest of the homesteaders.
It reads more like one man's idea. For it states, Queen Katie, being without responsible heirs. Don't I look responsible to you?
You ain't going to strong-arm me out of this place. I'm legal guardian of that old woman. Before you can butt in, you've got to prove who you are.
I think I'll be able to prove that to your satisfaction.
Now you keep your hands off that gun.
Let me know when you've had enough.
I got enough. Me and the homesteaders have tried to fight that old woman legal. And I can see you're too tough for a piece of paper.
If the homesteaders have got any grievance against the Queen, they'd better settle it above board. And when you come prowling around here, you'd better knock, or you might be shot for a trespasser. Here, take your hardware with you.
What did I tell you? That's the first time I ever saw Jeter eat dust.
Prince, I'm mighty proud of you. You sure did handle him.
Oh, I'd have done as much for any woman.
Of course you would.
What is the trouble between you and the homesteaders?
One of Clem's lies.
I'll tell you all about it. But first, I'm going to get you something to eat.
you that for?
That'll learn you not to lie to me. You just seen Prince run me off the place.
Why, Chief, that tall cowboy ain't Prince.
The Queen says he is.
Well, I say he ain't. I don't know how he ever turned up in Prince's place. Why, he's the fellow who thinks he killed him.
Can you prove that?
Well, that's the sheriff's job.
We'll round up the homesteaders and get ourselves. But if you'll ride for me...
So help me, Chief. I can single out a man of frames.
Reeling in the saddle all day. Neath the hurricane, I found every stray. Roving cattle, oh, yeah, the coyotes wail from the dusty trail. Reeling a rockin' a roll in the saddle all day. With the dawn, you must ride on your pace. Leading till the roundup through. Feeling a rockin' down the door to you. Howdy. That looks like you's burned out.
Doesn't take any mind reader to see that.
How'd it happen?
We're homesteaders. Not that it's any of your business. And a particular rancher tried to drive us off this range.
Oh, I'm not prejudiced against homesteaders. In fact, I was born in a house.
I sort of had an idea you just sprung from the saddle.
Oh, what's cooking?
Side meat? I don't know anybody ever got hungry for that.
Smells mighty good for a fellow that's put as many miles behind him as I have.
Well, I might ask you to stay to supper. That is, if you don't mind my dining room.
Oh, this is just my style, out in the open. I guess I'm more of a ranger than I am a homesteader.
I thought so. We have company, Dad, but I think he'll sing for us supper.
That's right. I'll pay off. I'm Bert Brown, Dakota's father. Well, Tex Martin is my name. I'm sheriff of this territory. Never get around here much. Territory's pretty big. Well, let's wash it. There you are. Thanks. We've had need of you here, Sheriff. We've got a crazy woman on this range. She done this to me. What'd you do to aggravate her? Nothing. Her cattle stampeded into our crops. She said she wasn't responsible. Said I'd have to put up a fence. She's right. You can see she didn't wait on that. But Clem Jeter's going to take her in hand before she drives all us homesteaders off this range. Who's Clem Jeter? He's about the nearest thing we've got to the law around here. Sounds like a man who takes the law in his own hands. Somebody's got to. Well, I didn't come here to fight about that. I'm looking for the KT Ranch. You know where it is? That's her ranch. It's right up the road.
Queen Katie, we call her.
I have some sad news for her. Her son was killed in a gunfight.
That scalawag? From what we've heard tell of him, he was bound to come to a bad end.
But that's still sad news for any woman.
Hello, Mr. Jeter. Just in time for supper.
No, thanks.
Why, what happened to you?
I just got run off the KT range.
Don't tell me old Queen Katie gave you that black eye.
No, fella give it to me over there she claims is Prince.
Why, that couldn't be Prince.
No, it's not possible. Her son's dead.
That's what I told him.
Who are you?
Jeter, this is Sheriff Tex Martin.
Howdy.
Glad to know you.
What's your business here?
I'm on the ranch. What were you doing there?
I'm supposed to look after the old woman that owns it. I'm sort of her guardian.
Under protest, I'd say. Do you know that fella that claims to be her son?
No, never saw him before.
My hunch is he's the man that killed Prince.
Well, news travels fast here, doesn't it? How did you know Prince was killed?
Just guessing. But it's no guess the Queen is using this imposter to save herself.
I'll look into that.
I'll be glad to ride over with you if you'd like.
No, thanks.
Have it your own way. Meantime, I'll warn all homesteaders to look out for that counterfeit son. No doubt he's liable to cause trouble.
We'll be on the lookout for him, too. It's a lucky thing you turned up to vouch that Queen Katie's prince is a humbug. Otherwise, some of us might have accepted him.
I'm wondering why he didn't fool your friend, Mr. Jeter.
Why, Prince should be easy enough to identify. Mr. Jeter said he was...
Back later and pay for my supper with that song?
Well, we never locked the door here.
Well, I'll see you folks later.
All right, Sheriff.
You should have kept your mouth shut. After all the talking for this game. Yeah, but you didn't believe me. Yeah, I believe you now. You hightail it off the JT ranch. Keep an eye on the sheriff. He didn't come here to tell the Queen her son was murdered. He's smoking out the fellow that killed him. Well, get going.
You promised to tell me why the homesteaders are down on us.
Well, they're just naturally leery of ranches, you know, son. Afraid we'll fight them over the open range. But I always figured that a squatter's got more rights to free land than a passing steer. Clem Jeter saw his chance in the homesteader to get his hands on this place. One of the farmers, Mr. Brown, got burned out. So Jeter turns up here to tell me that I'm responsible for it. You draw your own conclusions to that.
He had to do something violent to prove that you needed a guardian.
Well, it worked. That's why I have to have you here in a hurry.
I got him here in a hurry, didn't I? But it took a little persuasion.
Did you have to be persuaded to come home?
Well, it wasn't that I didn't want to see you, but I felt I owed an explanation to the sheriff before I left Badlands.
Well, I'm glad that you finally learned not to run away from trouble. I wouldn't have spent all these years without you if you'd have stood up to Jeter when you was a sailor. That time he hit you with the branding iron. Here. This arm's always been unlucky for you, hasn't it, son?
Here, let me roll up the sleeve.
You just wondered if I remembered about that brand, didn't you? I used to look for mention of it in the papers. Lone cowboy found with a KT branded on his arm. I always thought if anything ever happened to you, it'd be there.
Well, no, son's worth that much worry.
I'd like to help. See, you've had that
Since I got it.
Lance, did you? Bristol got told before in my life, Daniel. Answer the question. Thank you, man. Then maybe you gentlemen know something about them that took place in Badlands today.
Sheriff, I take it you know the man, will you? But I'm asking you not to pass this boy who wants me. I'll go with him. But he's got to shut up.
There'll be no more about it here. But if you remember anything you'd like to tell me, I'll be at the Brown homestead. Wait. Thanks, Sheriff. I won't let you down. I'll be looking for you.
What did you mean when you told the sheriff you wouldn't let him down?
He came here to get me, but not to hurt you.
You didn't kill anyone.
Yes, I did. But did it in self-defense.
Miss Katie, Coyote ain't your son. He's an extra who could have somehow got mixed up in a deck.
I know that. But he was here to help me when son wasn't. That's the best kind of kinship I know.
You would have fought that sheriff before you let him take me. I had to get him out of here to save his hide.
Don't give yourself up. I don't care what you've done. I need you more than he does.
I wouldn't be any good.
What's this place before then?
Not if I can help it. Let myself with the sheriff, and he may help me to help you. Where is Mr. Brown's homestead?
It's the first burned house down the road.
Don't be gone long.
Well, I'm back to pay for my supper.
Alone? I expect to bring Christmas back with you.
I didn't run on
found anybody to arrest. Don't tell me the Queen's cowboy turned out to be Prince. No, but I don't know why he didn't fool that smart Miss Jeter. Mr. Jeter didn't have a chance to see his arm because...
You think the Queen knows who he is?
Well, she knows he's not Prince.
Doesn't make sense. Protecting the man who killed his son.
Oh, he didn't kill Prince. Prince was shot with a 32. His gun's a 45.
I'm afraid you say better than you reason.
All right, I'll make a bargain with you folks. Me, if I wouldn't tell the Queen that he took a shot at her good-for-nothing son.
What's the bargain?
It's this. Show up, you folks won't help Jeter drive the Queen off of this range until I've had a chance reasonable. Bargain for him, I'm going to turn in and get a good night's sleep. Good night. Good night, honey.
Good night, Dad.
And Mr. Brown.
How about paying that debt?
Little sunshine, I'm on my way. I know you're waiting for something. Well, the door is long. We will be at home on the lone prairie. Where nature paints a picture with an unseen hand. Life will be worth living if hearts will stay till we meet somewhere on the lone prairie.
Looks like you're gonna lose. That cowboy hasn't shown up yet.
Well, do you mind?
Not if you keep singing.
You're not going to follow him.
Please don't stop me, Dad. He needs help.
Sorry, I didn't expect to be captured by a wildcat.
You mavericks always get caught one way or another. Shooting from ambush. What kind of a man are you?
I wasn't doing all of the shooting. I was more fired at than anything.
Pity you weren't hit. Move on.
Well, I thought I was a judge of character, but you fooled me.
That makes us even.
You know
He's the Queen's cowboy.
Then you win the bet. He turned up to kill you.
What are you talking about? I was on my way to give myself up to you when you started shooting at me.
The claim that I started this fracas?
I don't know who started it. I just happened to run into it.
Kill, Prince. The shot you threw hit the roulette table. Cowboy, you've been framed.
Framed? Who by?
I wish I knew. When it night, you're going to help me trail the coyote that tried to shoot me. He might know the answer.
Could be.
Well, let's get out of here.
You boys might as well put up for the night at our place.
Oh, fine. Thank you, Dakota.
I'm glad you've got better use for me than... You know, outside of you, the only man I've met who acts without provocation is Clem Jeter.
He didn't take in that cowhand.
Why not?
Well, you said yourself he's out hunting for the man who shot Prince.
You mean that tall coyote convinced the sheriff he didn't murder Prince?
I didn't say that. But I ain't staying around here so long as he's around gunning for me.
Well, what happened?
I shot at him, that's what.
I told you I'm running this party. Now you've turned the sheriff against us.
Oh, he didn't beat me.
I suppose he won't trail you over here.
Don't worry, I threw him off.
The sheriff won't do his duty and arrest the cowboy for Prince's murder. First thing tomorrow, we ride over and get him. And we move in on the Queen.
Well, the fellow that tried to kill me dropped his hat. Or I dropped it for him. You want to try it on?
No, thanks. It looks more like your size.
Better come and get it, boys. Help yourself.
Wake up if you're going to clean up this range today.
You mean I'm not dreaming?
Here.
Dakota tells me you boys are going to have to cleanse it. On the way back last night, I found this hat. If it belongs to one of his men, earn it.
Do you think it's a good idea for me to go along? I don't think I'll be very welcome unless you've got me handled.
Well, I think we ought to ride over and tell Queen Katie we're on her side.
That's right. She's probably worried. I'll do that. After you've convinced yourself that I'm right on Jeter and his gang, drop by the KT Ranch and pick me up. I want to help you clean them out.
You know, this case would be much simpler for me. This hat's for you.
Got that hanging rope?
Yeah. That lanky cowboy's gonna look pretty dancing on thin air.
After we get through with him, he's going to be able to introduce himself to the real Prince.
We'll ride together as far as the canyon road.
All right.
This is where we turn off.
Cover both ends of the house, just in case. Come on, Beetle.
You scavengers didn't waste any time coming back.
We're looking for that humbug son of yours. Where is he?
He's gone.
Don't so lie to me.
She's not lying. He ain't here.
Beetle, take a look around.
He left last night to go to the sheriff. There's just us two here, and no one to stop you from moving in now, if you like.
I thought that sheriff didn't want him.
Seemed like that to me, too. But he had something on his mind he wanted to clear up.
For me.
Yeah. We're here to charge you with the murder of Prince Katie.
How are you going to do it, with the rope?
That's it.
I'm sorry you had to hear that. Your son was killed, but I didn't do it. Whoever did it tried to get the sheriff last night, and the sheriff is looking for him right now.
That fellow takes too long to do his job.
Oh, it's nothing. Just graze.
Cannonball, you better step out the back and go after the sheriff. You'll find him up the canyon road.
Yes, sir.
You sit down here.
Have Queen Kay and the cowboys at the house. They're trying to gun them out.
They've had enough. Now, you be sure and take good care of her, Doda.
Best ever. Don't stay away too long. You know, you're Prince on this ranch.
Bye, Queen.
Bye.
Well, I'll be back. And I'll bring him with me.
That's a promise.
There's your hat. Come to see me sometime, Cannonball, when you don't have anything on your mind. Sure.
Rolling, yeah, I-O, in the rockin' roll down the dusty.